Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the unboxing and have a first look at this Realme GT Neo 2. And this smartphone sits in between the Realme GT Master and their flagship, that is the Realme GT. And this comes with the Snapdragon 870 SoC, and they say 5G processor. And guys, the 5G bands are listed over here. It has 8 bands of 5G. And guys, this is a review on it, and I still don't know the pricing. But from what I did an interview with Srihari, he was hinting that this device sits between the Master and the Realme GT that comes with Snapdragon 888. So I'm assuming the pricing will be middle of that. So somewhere around 30 to 32,000 is what I'm expecting, and it comes in two variants, guys. We've got the base variant that comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM, with 128 gigabytes of storage. There'll be also one more variant that comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Once I know the pricing, guys, I'll add that information in the description. So let's just open this up and have a look. So this comes out. So again, some paperwork and all these things, and yeah, so that's it. No case. I was expecting a case, so no case in the box. So here is the phone, and they've sent me again this green color variant, which they are sort of pushing, but I feel they also have this in a matte gray color. That actually looks pretty good. This is just too funky for me. The back is also glass, guys. Front, obviously, they say it's Gorilla Glass. I'm not sure what is the back, but this is also glass. It comes in 3 colors. This one, this bright green, that gray, as I've told you, is my favorite because that's matte and that looks classy, and also a bluish one. Anyway, so that's what we have. So here again some. Oh, so the case is there. Surprisingly, for the green one, they have given a gray case. They should have just sent me the gray one. So yeah, this is how it looks. And this is a rubbery sort of a case, much better than the standard TPU cases that we get. And again, that super dot 65 watt fast charging again on this one. And again, use this cable, guys, for fast charging because the amperage is pretty high on these chargers. And our SIM ejector tool is also there, this type. So that's what we get in the box. And let's have a look at the device itself. Again, guys, let me give you a physical overview first. On the top, we do have a secondary noise cancellation microphone. Again, the color difference is there, guys. Here, this is that bright green, but the body is that dark colored one. Still, I would say the gray looks might look better. Anyways, here we have the power on off button and nothing else this side. Bottom, we have the speaker vent. Again, this one is supposed to have stereo speakers, so we'll look at it. Type-C port that will be used for charging. This is the main microphone, your SIM tray. So let's pop it. Obviously, it won't have micro SD card. Yes, just 2 nano SIMs, guys. We also have a rubber gasket over here, so that's nice. Should be splash proof, but they don't say any IP rating for this one. On this end, we just have the volume rockers, and that's it. Nothing. And here back we have the cameras. The main is a 64 megapixel, then we have 8 megapixel, that's ultra wide, and just that 2 megapixel macro, man. Again, they should have just skipped the third camera in my frank opinion. Front is supposed to be 16. So let me do one thing. Let me just power this on, and let me just boot this up, and I'll set this up and then we will continue. So guys, I was just setting up the phone, and by default all these are check marks, so just uncheck these things because we just don't know what they'll send otherwise. Again, dual band Wi-Fi, so I'll just connect to my Wi-Fi and then we'll connect. So it's connected, and one thing I noticed is the haptic feedback is actually pretty good for this one. So it looks like the haptic motor is good. And let's see during the setup, do we get anything else? So this will take some time, so I'll skip. So guys, I have set up this device. In fact, I'm actually reshooting this part because for some reason my camera's audio bungled it up. So actually I used this device for about an hour, also took some samples, so I'll talk about that one. So here it is, and here is the smartphone itself. And again, guys, typical Realme UI that you're getting. On the left we have the Google pane. Here we have some apps, and in fact quite a bit of junkware, bloatware was installed on this one. So I have uninstalled some of them. You can uninstall, but there is quite a bit of chunk that is there for Hey Fun, that Mojo crap and all those things. So it's there. Haven't removed everything, but you can. In fact, a lot of Amazon stuff is also installed on this one, and so you can uninstall it. And in fact, the browser app, again, this is applicable for any Realme phone, guys. Exit it, and over here, just go to the app info, and by default for manage notifications, this will be on. Just remove this, otherwise it sends a lot of unnecessary notifications. That's okay. Now coming to another thing that I noticed immediately when I was testing this phone outdoors is they claim that this one is having an AMOLED screen. Yes, it's an AMOLED screen, and that 120 hertz AMOLED screen, it's very, very responsive. I'll show you, no issues regarding that. But definitely this screen is a lot brighter. They say that peak brightness it can go up to 1300 nits, and I did notice, yes, it works, because outdoors when I was taking some photographs in where harsh lighting, the screen was easily visible. That's not the case if the screen is not that bright. So in that way, I would say it's good. And again, if you go over here, typical Realme stuff, a lot of quick toggles. This one also has NFC on this one, and as you can see, they also have added this PC Connect. And also we also have a GT mode. This is specifically for gamers who want the they say that this one has 8 layers of cooling. In fact, that it has a steel vapor chamber and stuff, so it should not get hot. And in fact, it is the Snapdragon 870, unlike the 888, which gets very hot. So I don't think so we'll have an issue in terms of heating with this one. So this is what it is. And if I go over here to the settings, and if you go to let me show you the screen display options and all those things. Here, one thing to note is that by default it is on vivid, so the colors are a little bit more punchier. Again, you have to adjust that if you're picky about color. Most of you will like it, but if you go to the more, here is a screen refresh rate. By default it was set to auto select, so it will automatically select between the higher and the low one. I just forced it to high, that's 120 hertz. So that's what it is, and it's pretty smooth, guys. Even in the auto it was fine. And we also have this always on display on this one. By default this is not enabled, but you can enable it in the settings. So this shows, so in display fingerprint scanner, again as expected, is very, very responsive, no issues at all. As you can see, very fast, so that is actually nice. But again, the fingerprint scanner is slightly on the lower side. They should have actually kept it here naturally, so you have to adjust the grip. This is what I've noticed even in some of the OnePlus devices. They have gone lower, so you have to adjust. But in terms of smoothness, yes, no issues. I haven't noticed any lagginess or anything on this device, but yeah, that's some of that bloatware is there. Another thing is that this one does have that stereo speaker, so let's test that. If we go here, let's just play this, and this is at the max volume, guys, and can get pretty loud as it. And if I block this, as you can see, sound is coming from here. And if I place this, so yeah, definitely stereo speakers, and they are pretty loud. But the thing is that from this, the bottom vent, 60% of the sound comes from this one, and I would say about 40% comes from the earpiece. That's what I've noticed. But no 3.5mm headphone jack on this smartphone. Now coming to the weight, also I would say this feels neither heavy nor light. If I recall, in the spec sheet it said that the weighs 200 grams, so it's decent. But again, it's not the lightest smartphone nor heavy. I would say it sits in the middle. Let's also look at the camera on this one, and I would say camera specifications, I thought it could have been better. The main camera is 64 megapixel, that's fine. And then we have ultra wide, that's 8 megapixel. I wish it was higher megapixel, though some of the pics that I took were good. I'll show you. Then again, we have this 2 megapixel macro, which is sort of useless. I would say they should have just omitted it or give a useful lens, but that's what we get. Front facing is 16 megapixel. I was not expecting too much from the front facing camera, but the results were pretty good. In fact, the camera, in terms of software and stuff, they haven't, you have all the software tricks that you find on Realme higher end devices, also same 64 megapixel mode and all those modes, even starry mode, dual video and all those things. Even pro mode is there. So that way, in terms of software, they haven't skimmed. So I've actually taken some camera samples, so let me actually show them to you. So this was the regular shot. We also have digital zoom. This is 2x zoom, and we also have 5x. Don't use 5x. And this was ultra wide. Again, regular shot and ultra wide. The ultra wide is really wide on this one, and you get this natural background blur that you can easily get with this smartphone. And these are some of the casual shots that I took. These are some of the outdoor shots that I took. And again, as you can see, in these lighting conditions, this semi-indoor, here also it did a decent job. This was in artificial lighting. These were taken in semi-indoor conditions, and in these conditions, the camera brightens the pictures, as you can see. And here I manually adjusted the brightness. This is how it actually looked. to give you an idea side by side, and you can see the difference. It really brightens the picture in dull conditions, and I hope they fix this with a software update. Now for human subject sample, this was regular shot. It came out decent. This was in the portrait bokeh mode, and this was ultra wide. Ultra wide, again, there is a color boost, as you can see. Now these were samples taken with the front facing camera, and they did a decent job. And again, front facing camera, and this is with the portrait bokeh mode enabled. Recording this video with the front facing camera, and the audio is also being recorded via the same. I'm just going to step out to see how it does in natural lighting, and this is natural lighting. So what do you guys feel about the video recording with the front facing camera? So guys, that's it for now for the unboxing and first look at this Realme GT Neo 2. So what do you guys think about this smartphone? As I've told you guys, I don't know the pricing as of now. It should be announced very soon, so I'll add that in the description. By the time you see, it will be announced. So what do you feel about this one? I feel this one will be priced around that 30 to 32,000 in my opinion, but let's see how do they price. But anyways, what do you feel about this smartphone, the Realme GT Neo 2? Do let me know in the comment section below. And guys, let me know if you want a full review of this one. Guys, I have to be very selective about the full reviews for which devices I'm doing, because there are too many devices that are getting launched in the market right now, and my full reviews take a lot of time, so I have to be selected. But do let me know what do you think about this one in the comment section below. Anyways guys, if you're still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.